Welcome back to The Edge. First of all, before we start with today's episode, thank you for the love on this podcast. Thank you to all the listeners out there. It's been an amazing journey for the Endure Edge. We're really going to concentrate on mental health, men's mental health going forward. And today's episode is going to be electrifying. We have a powerhouse in the building today. He is a savage in a sport called power slap. He's got the heart of a lion. I'm looking at his hands, the hands of a hammer, and the mindset of a champion. But we're also bringing some love today. His incredible wife, Lindri, apologies. Lindri joins us today. She is the heart and soul and the backbone of Team Pitbull. And we're going to ask her some questions and hear a bit about how her challenges and what she has to deal with, having an elite sportsman as her husband. Ladies and gentlemen, Danie, the Pitbull funny Heerden, and his amazing wife, Lindri. How are you guys today?
Awesome. But I just need to add, you forgot to say, and the body of a bear.
And the body of a bear. The heart of a lion, the hands of a hammer, the mindset of a champion, and the body of a bear. I love it. And he does have the body of the bear, as you'll see on the video. Thank you for joining me on the Endure Edge podcast. It's great to have you guys. Are you guys still based in Pretoria, South Africa, obviously?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so how was the trip down to Johannesburg? Yeah, was there some traffic?
Well, let me tell you about Johannesburg. We all do not want to hear it, but that's the reality of Johannesburg. So there's always traffic. The lights is always either out, and the cops are working, obviously. So Joburg is fun.
Thank you for making the trip, and it's really appreciated. Danie, I want to talk a little bit about power slap. Wow, what has happened to that sport and how it has grown? What Dana White has done with that sport is amazing.
Let me tell you, I've been doing power slap professionally for 2 years now. But I must say, 2.5 years ago, I never thought that slap fighting would even be a sport. I mean, I'm coming from professional boxing, mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, K1, bare knuckle boxing, strongman, and I must say, if I was still active in those sports, I would say, you know what, there's something wrong with you if you do slap fight. Obviously, I got married. She made me pick up weight of 3 times myself.
She must be a good cook. We'll get on to that.
So I picked up weight up to 175 kilograms. And this is actually the only other sport which you can do on this fitness level and weight division, other than chess.
I'm sure we can get some heavyweights in the chess game. Just for the listeners out there, I want to tell them about my introduction to power slap, especially. So I met you close to the end of last year at a restaurant down the road in Johannesburg. You were there with your family, friends. I was there with my family. And my 13-year-old son spotted you there in the corner as we walked in. And I'm like, relax. Daddy, it's Danie the Pitbull. I'm like, Lagan, relax, chill. And we went and sat down. And geez, it was the longest breakfast of my life. Because all he wanted to do is, Daddy, can I get a photo? To tell you the truth, I wanted the photo too. The iconic hand photo on the face. I might have wanted it more than him. And I said to him, just relax. And he stared. He's like, oh, they're paying the bill. You knew when you were paying the bill. And he's like, oh, Daddy, they're paying the bill. I'm like, okay, so we chill, relax. And we happened to walk out together and we started chatting. And Danie, first of all, my son, even if when you retire, my son will be a fan of yours for life. The way you treated him, I will be a fan of yours for life. Thank you so much. But what actually was even better for me, what showed, I don't know, how you guys are handling this fame and in South Africa, in America, wherever it might be, is the way the rest of the family, friends, stepped back and just gave you your time. And I'm sure you get fans all the time, and it's irritating, especially at a restaurant. You want your alone time too. I get it. But the way the friends and family just stepped back and you spent 10 minutes with Lagan and myself taking photos, chatting to us was just amazing. And thank you for being that person. And if anyone ever wanted to see another celebrity, how should a celebrity treat a fan, maybe there's a business there for you.
Well, I must say, for us, we sort of came to the understanding, you know what, if you go out to public, that's how it's going to work. So obviously, for me, I have to spend my time there, because a shout out to all the kids out there for watching me out on TikTok and YouTube. Shout out to all you guys, because what I've experienced in life, the kids of today are the kids that remember you, or even the guys that remember you 10 years from now. Your age people forget you. I think I remember the days when I did mixed martial arts. My age guys, they forget you when you stop the sports. The kids still remember you.
Yes.
I mean, I had a mixed martial arts gym back in the Val, and the kids I trained in was 6, 7, 8 years old. And now they're 18. Now they come and greet me. I was a coach. And I'm like, we don't know you from.
Because they've changed. You're not going to remember the faces.
We never thought power slap. I'm like, oh, well, who are you again? I'm like, oh, you trained us, coach. I'm like, yeah, show me a photo.
But that just shows what impact you had on them at the age of 6, 7 years old. That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember we went out to a festival at Silverton Casino.
Silver Star.
Silver Star.
Yes.
Okay. Silver
Star
Yeah, in the West
Casino.
End, yes.
And I had a youngster follow me like all the way. But I kept an eye on him. I'm like, no, I want to see how committed he is.
Oh, shit.
And he was following me probably for half an hour. So I didn't stop walking. I'm just going. But I check an eye on him to make sure he follows me all the way to the bathroom eventually. And in the bathroom, he asked me, hey, can you please have a photo? I'm like, why? He's like, no, you that slap fighter. I'm like, no. He's like, no, you are. I'm like, no, serious, I'm not. He's like, no, you are. I'm like, no, it's my twin brother. So he keep on convincing me that I'm the guy. Even shows me on his phone. I'm like, okay, you got me. So eventually we took a photo. But I just wanted to see the commitment they got, even to just get a photo. I'm like, yes. It's times like those which make you proud as being a sports person, if I can say it.
It makes those knocks worthwhile.
Definitely.
Yeah, it makes those knocks worthwhile. So, yeah, we then got the photos from you, and we went home, and I think it was 2-3 weeks after that where you were fighting, and you had this big fight, and we were lying in bed. I think it was 10 o'clock South African time that it was shown, if I'm not mistaken, at night. And we were lying in bed as the whole family. And Samantha, my wife, was on her phone. Reese, my daughter, who's turning 18, was on her phone playing. And we had the fighting on and watching all the fights before you, not concentrating on them because we were waiting for your fight. And to be honest, this was the first time I watched a full fight. I would always watch the reels, etc. I love fighting. I also did some white collar boxing extras, so I'd watch the reels. But I've never actually sat down and watched Power Slap. And man, guys, if you've never watched Power Slap, if you want to feel every emotion in the dictionary and you want a roller coaster ride, watch Power Slap.
Well,
wow.
I need to add on.
Wow.
Just watching it on a phone is different. Watching it in person is like 10 levels up.
So to be honest, I've watched amateur, well, if you want to call them amateurs, part of the white collar boxing that I did. Stephen Castle from Top Box Gym had some slapping at his events that he did at Lock, Stock and Beer. But it wasn't the same emotion. It wasn't the same roller coaster ride that I received from a TV screen. And the whole family, like Samantha, we were glued. The last time I saw people glued to a TV like that was the Springboks games now in the last World Cup. That was won by 1 point. Like, we were glued to this TV. And that intensity of that 1, 2, 3, and then this, wow, and then it's a foul, and man, the roller coaster ride. It's what a sport.
See, one thing about the slap fight, if you look away or you go to a bar to fetch a drink, or that second you look away, you're going to either miss the knockout.
Yes.
And people can say whatever they want. Everyone want to see the knockout. And what not better than power slap? Because power slap is the only sport which you can get the knockout, either opponent and on that spot or on that specific time.
Okay.
So you don't want to miss it.
Yes,
If you
for
miss
sure.
it, you're like, oh, yes.
Damn it, I missed it. Yeah.
Although it only takes 5 minutes of your time, but yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to the live events. I've attended them. So the people don't get up and go to the bar during the fights. They go up front or they go during break
They
time.
make sure they got enough.
Yeah, because otherwise you miss something.
No,
you
for
can't get
sure.
up.
And you miss, it could be the best knockout that's ever happened.
You never know.
And I also want to add, power slap or slap fighting, in other words, is the only other sport which celebrities come and watch.
I've noticed that.
I mean, once I'm on the stage, you look around, you see Alex Pereira, you see Nina Drama, you see Donald Trump.
My
and
pink
a
slip,
slap
Nina drama.
Obviously, you see Dana White, you see
Everyone.
Franklin, you see Erica, you see Mr. Beast, that YouTuber. You see so many influenced celebrities. You're like, wow, these people come and watch me slap a guy
For sure.
3 times, if we're lucky. 3.
Yes. If
So-
it goes all the way.
Definitely, yeah.
If it goes all the way. The name Pitbull. I know you were involved in mixed martial arts and that was already the name then. Great record in the UFC, by the way.
17 wins,
Yeah, I saw-
8 losses. Yeah.
Yeah, 0 draws. Yeah, you should have stayed a little bit longer. Maybe you could have been Drickus Duplessis, man. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, I've been probably one of the only athletes that fought 3 weight divisions. I fought middleweight, light heavy,
I
and
saw
heavyweight.
that, yes.
Although I became the EFC heavyweight champ back in 2016. But from there, I got my professional boxing license, professional Muay Thai license, professional K1 license, professional All Stars Fight League license,
Wow.
professional bare knuckle boxing license, professional slap fight license. So I've got 7 professional licenses in all the sports which I've done.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so obviously at this weight division you can only slap now because I'm not going to chase
No,
anyone.
for sure.
So I think this is the only sports which you can basically come from a couch without training like 6 days a week if I have to compare other sports. I mean, boxing, you need to train 6 days a week.
Yes.
Martial arts, you need to train 6 days a week. So the bad part about slap fighting, some of the guys come on board, they've never done or achieved anything other in life other than maybe knock out a guy once or twice. And now they think they're Conor McGregor of slap fights, but they don't give back the respect they're supposed to give to professional athletes, if I can say it like that.
Okay.
Meaning, boxers are 6 days a week. Martial arts is 6 days a week. Slap fight is the only other sport where you can basically come 1 day a week if you can give a proper slap and you can take a proper slap.
Yes.
So
Okay.
people don't give the necessary respect
Respect.
to even the athletes out there.
Yeah.
So that's a bad thing.
And sorry, I went off the question, but back to the name Pitbull. Where does it come from? How does it translate to the fight, to the slap style?
So my dad would have fought Pierre Coutts in 1981 for the SA heavyweight boxing title.
Okay.
So we were groomed. We are 13 kids, by the way, 7 boys, 6 girls.
Wow. There were no TV those days.
Well, those days you need to stand up and change the TV. Now you get remote. But in any case, other than that, we were 7 boys, 6 girls. So we were groomed into combat sports. My dad said, you're not going to drink, you're not going to smoke, you're going to work, you're going to train, that's life. Obviously, we had no choice, so we did that. And with growing up with the family, I discovered, it doesn't matter your excuses. You're either going to do it, you're either in or you're either out. There's no in between. And I figured, Pitbull is the only name for me because whatever I put my mind to, I will achieve. So whether it's now, slap fight, martial arts, boxing, K1, I mean, I've done it all. I became 5th on the SA ranks in boxing, became the heavyweight champ in mixed martial arts. I'm undefeated in Muay Thai. I've got 1 loss in K1. Bare knuckle boxing due to COVID never happened, but got the license.
Yes, I was actually boxing during that time when they were doing tryouts. And I know Stephen Castle was somehow involved in that too because I was boxing at Top Box. I was training for my first white collar fight then.
Yeah, so they were upset because I had my professional license and I was the first athlete that transitioned to boxing. So I had 2 licenses.
Okay.
And back then, boxing didn't want to allow 2 licenses. So I was one of the first athletes that got 2 licenses, even before Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was basically the second one that got his boxing license after mixed martial arts.
Yes.
And then from there, most of the martial arts guys just transitioned to boxing. And then I'm not sure what happened now. I've lost some track on the politics on that. But
They're all trying to fight Logan Paul.
yeah, that's the thing. So, yeah, from there I discovered, you know what, boxing is just a drop in the bucket. And then I wanted to do more because back then, martial arts, if you're a champ, you fight maybe once or twice a year. So I'm like, well, I had to stay fit. The only other ways I would stay fit is if I fight other combat sports, which most of the guys didn't allow it. And for me to keep on training for maybe for one fight in 8 months was a waste of time. So, yeah, I did not have that mindset.
Okay.
And, yeah, we ended up in slap fight. So whatever I'm putting my mind to, I'm going to do.
And on that note, let's start talking about mindset, the champion mindset. What your amazing wife gives you when it comes to mindset. How do you, Andrew, deal with watching your husband, and I'm going to say it, excuse my French, push clap 3 times in a row if it goes that far? How do you sit there and watch it? What goes through your mind, the anxiety?
So Danie's pretty tough. So the first, I would say, three events, I was very calm. I knew he's just going to do this. It's going to be fine. But then from there, it started getting harder watching it. I don't know. Yeah.
So you were actually okay in the beginning, and then
I was
it got,
okay.
Wow,
yes.
okay,
I think
that's
it's because
interesting.
the stage is very big. The stakes are big. So
Okay.
I'm not scared that he's going to get hurt, really. I feel like he's tough. He can handle the blows, and he's shown that. He definitely can. I think it's more anxiety about how the results are going to be at the end.
Do you
I
ever,
want him to
do
win.
you ever look away?
Well, yeah, I
While
have.
you're sitting there at a live event?
The last one, very suspenseful. I was also in the audience, but I was also taking video. So
Okay.
I noticed that actually calms me down a bit. Like I feel
Doing something
calmer.
else, yes.
Yeah, doing the video of him getting slapped. I don't know. It was better. So I might just do that going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never seen those videos. I know when she normally records, she records the floor. So.
Sometimes, yeah. But I was pretty good with it.
The last one was Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
It was against Kalani. Currently ranked number 2. I'm ranked number 4. But that was supposed to win 3 rounds. It went all the way 5 slaps each. So my face was swollen like this.
I
His
saw the
face was
pictures after
swollen.
that of your face on Instagram.
I
yeah.
went down once, I got up. He went down once, he got up. That was a proper war. So even on that time, when you get knocked down, you don't know it. You only see that on the camera. But again, same thing, mindset. So going down, I can say, this is getting tough. I'm just going to quit. But because of my mindset, I don't want to lose a fight or win a fight by quitting halfway, if I can say like that.
For sure.
So whether there's an excuse, oh no, he hit me with a palm or whatever, because that normally happens. I don't care about the excuses. So for me, I need to win via knockout, especially now in slap fight. I don't really want to win on points, although the guys
decision,
now
yeah.
on this level, they just take it like it's another breakfast.
Even
thing.
the woman, I was watching, I think her name is Paige.
Peyton's and
Yeah,
Sheena.
wow. Like she slapped it. Then the woman, I don't know who she was fighting, but the woman just stood there. I was like, wow.
and you know what? Those women, they look so...
They savages on their own.
They
like,
look so muscular. So when you see it on TikTok, they look muscular. When you actually meet them in person, they're like 55 kilograms. You're like,
yeah.
yeah.
And beautiful. Like Paige looks like a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
I follow her on Instagram. I'm sure you've seen. Like, wow.
No, definitely. Well, she's a former UFC athlete.
Yes, correct.
So the thing about slap fight, they get a lot of former martial artists that compete, and now they're talking about influencers competing.
Coming to compete.
So I think if influencers start doing this,
yeah,
I mean, this is just going to grow unanimously just by overnight.
for sure. Back to the mindset. So your last fight, I forgive me, I don't know the rounds. I can't remember them, but like you said, you went down. Okay. What is going through your mind at that stage? Because you're not unconscious. You're standing up. You might be a bit dizzy. Take us through that.
Okay, well, let me rewind back to my title match. So I had a title match
Yes.
in June. Basically 8 months since I started, I get a title match.
No,
So
you
that's what I
didn't.
wanted, because the champion I was basically following since I saw this power slam. And I want to fight him so bad because that's a sort of a craving he just wanted. He had 17 wins or 17 fights, 15 wins via knockouts. So he's like a monster in this. So obviously, being the South African, I want to show that guy because we can do it.
No, for sure.
I must say, on
We
the
designed
stage,
the Puss Club.
yeah, we decided. In any case, so I went down. On that time when I went down the first time, I never knew it. So in my mind, I'm on a holiday. So I'm not sure what holiday or what country I was in, but you don't know you're going down. You think you're okay and you're still on stage. So I remember dropping down to my knee. I do not remember that going down at all. I remember going down to my knee. From there, I recovered, got back up. Obviously, when I wanted to wind up for the slaps after that, you can feel automatically there's no power. And then you think, why?
Okay.
So after the match, you see on video, yeah, you were out on your feet. I'm like, oh, this never happened to me. What's this AI?
This is fake.
Yeah, so in any case, so on stage, when you get dropped, or I've never been knocked out so far, touch wood, but when you get dropped, you don't feel it. But I must say, the crazy wine hit me so hard that I felt my brain move in my skull. I felt that doof.
Wow.
And I was like, oh. So you can think of a lot of excuses probably, but my mindset was doof. And I'm thinking, I'm getting up now. Now it's your turn. While I'm winding up, I feel there's no power. So I'm doubting myself on the wind up, or on the wind up, which is probably a bad thing because I want to knock him out. But because I know there's no strength, I'm automatically doubting myself.
Your mind will send the signal straight to your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I lost on points only. So I was the first athlete that went 5 rounds with him. And I was the first one that got knocked down and got back up.
Wow.
So obviously, I think that's a good statement coming from that. Obviously, from there, I felt, I need a bit more experience before I'm going to rematch him. They gave me an easier fight afterwards. Unfortunately, I won due to 2 clubbing fouls. So that way you don't want to win. You don't want to win because
not even
someone
you
can't
enjoy
aim.
that. Yeah.
You want to win
It's like a
via
disqualification in
knockout
any other
or
sport.
being knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But I guess that does happen. Danie, so we'll get back to the sport and your mind and how you channel things. Doing some homework on you, I got onto Power Slap's website and they ask some questions to all the fighters there. And one of the questions was something that you regret. And your answer was thinking of committing suicide. When? Why? And the reason I want to bring this up is there are men out there, especially men, and I don't know if you know the stats, just in South Africa alone, there are 13,000 suicides a year. Out of those 13,000, 10,000 are men.
well, let me add your personal opinion. Once you're in that dip, no one knows about that. You're fighting that constant battle, and in your mind, you think, suicide is the best way out. So in my time when I was there, my best friend at that time, he was the only one that knew about this. So he was trying to keep me positive 24/7.
So you went and spoke to him?
When you spoke to him.
Okay.
But I only spoke to him.
And you said you want to end it all. You're done.
Well, I didn't tell him I want to end it all. I told him about how bad life is.
Okay.
I came up with the excuses.
Okay.
If I
may interject, how old were you? How long ago was this?
This was roughly 20
Plus minus.
2017 to 2019, roughly.
Okay.
Around about there. So obviously I was going through a divorce. Coming from the champions. Remember, I was a heavyweight world champion 2016. So life is great.
Yeah.
When you're a champion. Or life is easier, if I can say it like that. Life is easier. From there, you go through a divorce. I had 3 gyms at that time. I lost 2 gyms. Everything is just going backwards. So you can't think clearly. So you fall into this dark dip, if I can say it like that. So you're too shy to talk to someone because, hey, I'm a champion. It doesn't happen to champions. Or to men. It doesn't happen to men because we are tough. How can this happen? So obviously you got a relationship with God, but for some reason, God is the first one you blame when you fall into this dip. I don't know
For
why.
sure.
But this happened to me. So he's the first one you blame when you fall into this dip. And then excuses make you feel better. Although we got raised with no excuses. You don't have an excuse. If you have an excuse, you don't want to do it.
Yes.
But for some reason, excuses makes you feel better. Because I don't drink, I don't smoke. So I luckily did not went into that.
Okay.
But in any case, from there, it felt like everything was going backwards. I had a garden service company. I had like 96 gardens. It broke down to like 6 at the end of the day. I lost 2 gyms. From there, I just want to say, you know what? I planned the whole suicide thing. I still worked in Harties. I was busy with my hydraulic course. I wanted to go into that dam.
Wow.
I don't know what happened, but I hit bumper-to-bumper traffic from Harties all the way to Vereniging. Bumper-to-bumper traffic. That's never happened to me ever in my life before. The next day, I woke up on a complete different mindset. I'm like, what did I want to do?
So you were on your way.
I was on my way.
Okay, you're on your way to the bridge.
So I also need to add, once I was talking to my buddy to explain to him all this, once you're on the phone, he gets through to you. But that second you put the phone down, it feels like there's no one.
Like you didn't have the conversation.
So it sounds difficult, but to get you out of that, you're the only way or the only one to get you out of that. No one else is going to get you out of that. You need to man up or convince yourself. Still not exactly sure to get out, because I woke up with a complete different mindset because I hit bumper-to-bumper traffic.
It's amazing. There were other plans for you.
There were other plans for me, but then again...
And the traffic you complained about in Joburg was what saved you, basically.
Exactly, that's what saved me. But I mean, going back from, you know what, you had it all, you've been a champion, life was good, to no promoter want to touch you. You're not going to fight ever again. You can't apply for work. So
You feel
life,
like a loser.
It feels like, like no one's seeing you. And for me, being used to that, and now it's all gone, you're on a completely different mindset. And now you're battling with your mind like constantly, because I'm also an overthinker. So I'm thinking out all the way till the end.
Yes.
And I've seen the suicide pass like 100 times. The same thing, Pitbull, you just get it done. And now you feel like a bigger failure because you couldn't even commit suicide. So now there's another battle in your mind that I'm not even man enough to do this. Although you need to be a man to commit suicide, or you need to have balls to commit suicide.
No,
and now you're thinking, I couldn't even do that. So now what failure am I? Obviously, if I think about it now, taking back, I would never thought I would have whatever I have 20 times more than what I had in 2016. I'm now known worldwide, which back then I was only known sort of in South Africa, if I can say it like that.
Yes.
Still up to date, do not know what changed the mindset, but I woke up differently. I would say it's my father's murder. My father got murdered in 2018. And I think when I saw him lying there, they covered him, that pulled me right out. Don't know how, but that sort of pulled me right out. And the statements in my head drops like, he raised us like, you don't have excuses. You're either in or you're either out. No excuse. You're either going to do it, not going to waste time. So there was never a sort of a dull moment or excuse not to do something which you set your mind to. And I think that sort of pulled me out, because I saw him, whatever he's done, whether he got pulled over in a roadblock without his license, without his wallet, if I can say that, he got out of it. When he got raided, he got out of it. When he had a security thing in Rwanda, there was a strike on him, he got out of it. And now you think, you know what, your dad's a superhero, and this he couldn't do. And that sort of, I think that pulled me out, because from there, my mindset became different again. Then I started training, and from there I went to K1, kickboxing, got my license there and started training, get the fights up again. I said, you know, there's second chances on most of it, but you have to do it yourself. That's what I can say.
So people out there battling with a similar problem, do you think exercise would assist them, would help in whatever form of sport it is.
I'm also going to add, to exercise takes another mentality. Because I remember when I was there, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go out the house. I wanted to eat and sleep. I don't want to see people. Because people, you think of all the negative stuff. So I got robbed at gunpoint a couple of times. So when you go out, all the people look the same. When you see your father got murdered, all the people look the same. So you think revengeful, you think negative, you think. So then I wanted to eat and I wanted to sleep. So you spend all your money on foods, eat, sleep. And then you realize, you know what, everything is gone. What now? This was your excuse not to get up and get out there because something is wrong with me. And then, I actually went to go and see a psychiatrist.
Okay, so.
Yeah. So I never believed in this. So we also got raised
Which most men think it's weak. They think it's weak to go see a psychiatrist.
Because we got raised as, you know what, depression, mental health, that's an excuse.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
So in my head, I'm like, whatever. In any case, I went to a psychiatrist because I was training a psychiatrist when I owned a gym. And he explained that I've got, I don't know, issues with, because I don't have a relationship with my mom, and something about my dad I couldn't remember on that part. But in any case,
past trauma. Childhood trauma. Yeah.
So then they explained to me, apparently when someone dies, they get sent a death angel a month before. Not sure if this is real. So say if I would die, I see a death angel a month before, so it prepare me that I'm going to die. So on my dad's Facebook, my dad got murdered 28th of December, 2018. I went back on his Facebook. He said on the 20th or 25th of December that he's going to die and he love all our kids. He posted it on his Facebook. So then for me, that sort of made sense on what the psychiatrist said. And I think with that, it started pulling me out to say, no, you need to do this because no one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I've never heard the term a death angel, but you hear about people that even just have heart attacks or go into operations and die in surgery who have actually prepared the death. My dad was one of them. He had actually planned and he'd sold houses and put everything in my mom's name, etc. Like 2 months, 3 months before he went in for back surgery. Never came out of the back surgery, but it was planned. And afterward, we didn't know he'd done this. My mom was none the wiser. At that stage, the old school, you don't ask questions. Yeah. Things were, all the policies were put on there. Like the executives actually had to do, there wasn't much that needed to be done because of his planning. And yes, he knew he was going to a back operation, but who thinks they're not going to make it out of a back operation?
Exactly.
So death angel might exist.
Well, I must say I now believe in it because the way he explained it, and obviously I went to check, only on Facebook though. I went to check on Facebook. So apparently the day that my dad got murdered, he actually left his phone at the house that day. He gave away all his clothes.
Wow.
And then that happens. He phoned my son, my youngest son, or me to speak to my son to say, you know what, you need to come and visit me because we don't have time to visit him. And then when I phoned him back, he didn't answer his phone because obviously he's left it at home, but I didn't know at that time. But now going through the psychiatrist and he explains this, everything starts to make sense. And I don't know if they do it to make you feel better, but it worked for me.
No,
so then
sure.
you start to do investigation and yeah, that worked. That pulled me right out of the dip that I went in.
It's amazing. Now they say behind every successful man, and you are definitely right now sitting here successful. You said it, number 4 in the world. And I have no doubt the belt will be coming back to this country, even though you got plans to move to Vegas. Promise me we'll be back in this room when that belt is in your hands.
Well, I need to add, I'm born South African. So although I live in another country, I'm still South African.
You will
so
always
that
be
belt
South
will definitely come back to South Africa.
Amazing. And we're going to talk about what's up for plans now. But behind every successful man, is a woman.
Or a camera lady.
Or a camera lady that doesn't want to watch. Talk to us. You live with a champion.
Yeah.
How is it?
Danie's easy. I just need to keep him fed.
You just let's talk about that.
Well, before you talk about it, let's add on. She made me fat.
No.
So I used to get
I
inboxes.
saw the photos. Danie
No.
was slim and trim.
I made him lazy because I never say no. So he doesn't go to
She
the
says no,
fridge.
believe it.
No.
She's got headache at times. Well, before she explains, I need to add it. She made me fat. I used to get inboxes from people. It's like, "Hi, you doing good? Hi, how are you?" Now I get like 0. Because, and when she's bad, she's like, "Oh, you're fat." But when she's not bad, she's like,
Never.
"Ah, come here, dad bod."
Well, if she didn't give the dad bod, hey, we wouldn't be slapping, we wouldn't be knocking people out with a flat hand
No,
today.
this dad bod was his idea because he was 140 kilos.
I was actually 114.
Well, when I met him, he was about 114.
COVID caught me. And I
Like
thought-
most of us.
I really thought I'm going to die.
I also got a dad bod for a while.
That's
was-
actually when we just met.
Okay.
I think we met like a week prior.
Oh,
And
prior
here's
to
this
COVID.
guy, yeah. And he is super sick. So I ended up just bringing him fruit from Woolies. You remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, just to keep him alive. But he was literally lying there. He didn't want to go to the doctor because he's tough.
I need to add on, I weighed 114 kilograms.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which was not good for someone catching COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah. The first thing was do not be overweight.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I nursed him back to health. And from there, he just went in. Remember, you went and bought all those chocolates, Lindt chocolates. I've never seen so many chocolates before.
Lint.
So he started this craving after he had COVID. And from there, he wanted to gain because he was actually like the smallest in the super heavyweight division in Power Slap.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other guys
we're
are.
already in Power Slap. Not that big yet. People aren't talking about it.
So let's get to this fact. So at first, I had a bare knuckle boxing license.
Yes.
Mm.
So then they said I need to pick up to super heavyweight. So super heavyweight was 120 kilograms plus.
Okay.
That was 114, and then I had to pick up weight. So I'm thinking, if I do anything, I lose weight. So I need to go back to eat and sleep, and probably doing it the worst way because the junk food, chocolate, and sleep. And I eventually got to the super heavyweight class. The fight got postponed again. They wanted to fight me. They wanted to give me a title bout on my debut. I'm like, sure, but you're gonna pay me more because I understand combat
For
sports. Obviously, they did not, so I called off the fight. I'm like, no. But
No,
then
it's
life was
gotta be
really good
worth it.
because you eat and sleep. So
He
it
was
a
already
habit. I'm
in
like,
that
That was
thing.
amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, then back to Power Slap, they contacted me, and for a whole year, I thought it's a scam. A guy contacted me via Instagram. So, you know what? Power Slap wants you. So I had a viral video on TikTok, 17.6 million views. TikTok took it off for dangerous acts. So I think they saw that video. But in any case, they're like, oh, Power Slap wants you. I'm like, whatever. If Power Slap wants me, why would a guy contact me with only got like 5 followers and 1 post? No,
Yeah,
this is
for
a
sure.
scam.
For sure.
For a whole year, he keeps on sending. I wanted to block him a couple of times, but I didn't. And then eventually I told you, let's just see. So I'm like, okay, if this is true, get the boss to call me. It's like, okay, sure, what's your details? Gave him my details, and Frank and Erika did a Zoom call with me.
Wow.
While they interviewing me, up to the day, can't remember what they asked me, but I'm thinking 12 months ago. 12 months ago. So where would I have been if I just took the chance the first time?
Yes, for sure.
Because we're in South Africa, so scams is 99%.
No, obviously.
And then, yeah, so I'm thinking 12 months ago. Like when you're flying, I'm like, yesterday.
Wow.
I'm flying yesterday when you want me. And then I told you, you know what? If we have to sell cars to get a visa, because my brother is in California and he told me his visa is $6,000. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to have to sell a car to get a visa. And then when we did a visa, it was like 3,900 Rand. I'm like,
You didn't have to sell the car.
I don't have to sell a car. But in any case, yeah, back to her.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you fed him to where he is now?
No, we've got a pretty good life. We're very relaxed. I think he's very spoiled.
It's because he's jealous.
No, he keeps telling people that the ring is so big because I'm so jealous, which is not the case.
That is an awesome ring. Was that specially made?
Especially mine. Let me tell you, if someone waves towards me 100 meters away and I wave back, they can see I'm married. I mean, this is like 4 normal wedding rings.
Wow, yeah.
So it must be jealous wife because
He likes unusual pieces. So
This fits, just to listeners out there, the ring that I'm holding, if you're not watching, this fits over both my fingers.
very big.
Wow.
yeah, so that was made by
It's a beautiful ring, though.
thank you. So Ulfio Twin Julius, Bedford. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, they especially made me this, but I'm starting to realize it's my wife that's jealous.
Your wife is.
So when we were only still normal South Africans, even on social media, she said I could like women's photos that's international because that's never achievable.
For sure. You're never going to get there.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay,
You're never going to meet
This
me
is,
now.
this is a true story.
The hot chick that interviews all the UFC fighters, you're never going to meet her.
So we had rules. We had rules like I'm not allowed to like South Africans because they would inbox you hi. And it might be a Nigerian, you understand what I'm saying? But anyways, she said international is allowed. I'm like, okay, international like. Because it's unachievable. Now,
Unfollow.
no, when I flew down there, I'm like, you know who's next to me? So I sent her photos of this international people only on Instagram. They're actually real life next to me. So she's like, no, but you need to know once you're overseas, you're only allowed to like international, which comes back to South Africa. I'm like, no, it must be a scam.
Well, it's hard now
Because
because
I
we're
think
between.
it's now we know this people.
Yes, for sure.
And social media in America just works completely different
It
than
works.
South Africa.
Yeah. It actually works.
It actually works, yeah.
We're scared of it. We don't want to engage, etc. Yeah.
Yeah. So in America, you actually engage with people and they come and talk to you like they know you. They're like, I'm not
Exactly.
wild. Yeah.
And they even follow you back. Like even these people they've got millions of followers. You follow them, they follow you back. Well, probably because we've met them also or just engaged with them before.
Okay.
But
Now,
it's so nice. Like the whole mindset is,
give and
influences
take.
help each other.
Give and take. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just a take.
Yeah.
And now I see where that attitude comes from, because my son followed you, and next thing he runs down the stairs and Daddy, Danie followed me back. He loved it.
Nice.
So yeah, I see where that comes from. Okay, well, yeah, that's interesting. What do you feed this man? Take me through a day of how he eats.
Oh, okay.
Starting from breakfast.
So for
snacks.
breakfast, we actually had a bit of a tiff recently because I've always given him like 3 slices of toast, but he eats a lot of eggs. And then he also likes it. Some meat needs to be incorporated into this
What is
breakfast.
a lot of eggs for?
Well, I need to
Like
interrupt
8
this. I need to
eggs
interrupt
at
this.
least.
You're going to continue now. But for some reason in the morning, she wants me to diet. And then from 10 at night, she feeds me everything that's
I love
left
that.
overs.
Yeah.
But
No,
any
I
case.
cut him down. He was on like
a
4
friend actually messaged me this morning who's doing intermittent fasting. He's like, did you know breakfast actually stands for break fast? So he's already dieted while he slept.
No, so I cut him down. He used to be on 4 slices of toast, and then I cut him down to 3 just to, try and maintain what we've got at the moment so that it doesn't go higher.
Okay, so you don't want to pick up
174
weight. Now it's a maintenance thing.
In her mind.
Okay.
In her mind.
Are
Because she's giving me a full plate, only 3 slices. So it means there's a
Well, I cut
corner
it down
which
to
is
3.
empty.
I just think it's reasonable. It's a reasonable portion. It's still a very big portion. And then he complained about it because he literally gets upset because why am I only giving him like this amount of food now?
Yeah.
And by the way, why are you only making me 3 meals a day? And I'm like saying, no, Danie, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to make more than 3 meals a day. So the rest of the day, you have to sort yourself out. So then he goes and buys a bunch of snacks. You should see our cupboards and our fridge. It is stacked with sweets and chips, and he's really got a sweet
So
tooth.
when the kids visit.
Yeah, the kids are the excuse, but they're
Always
just the
and I bet
excuse.
she's hiding it from the kids.
I am. Actually, I have to, because if I open the fridge, it's like gone. It's like, I bought like
Yeah.
No,
30
I'm the
of them. Where are
I've also got a chocolate fetish, if you want to call it that. I'm going to hide the chocolates from the
So
kids.
I need to buy chocolates and I'll tell my kids, this is mine. And I give them just like one, and then the rest is mine.
No, he's actually very good with inventory there.
He knows exactly how
when
many
something's
lint balls
not
are in the
there.
box.
Oh, no.
I promise you, this is really, it's a fact.
Oh, that's
So she would give me 3 slices of toast, but normally, if she's not mad at me, she would give me 4 slices of toast with a can of corned meat or bully beef and like
He loves that.
25 to 30 eggs, because that's proper. Wow. Because in case my kids want some, I can just take it from my plate.
yeah. You're
But
gonna
hopefully I
help
get
yourself.
breakfast while they're still asleep, and then we sort it. But then she downs it to like 3 slices and like 15 eggs. I'm like, it's like pure wasting.
So something's missing.
Something is missing, yeah. I don't know why she would get me like an empty spot in the plate.
Like I say, we're on maintaining and not growing at the moment.
And
Someone's got to monitor it. Someone's got to be like the reasoning.
No, for sure. And that's why from every great champion is a great woman behind him. Conor McGregor says it too. Dricus du Plessis now is getting married. Well, congratulations, by the way. I saw you guys got married last year. Is
Yes,
that correct?
last year.
Yes,
Correct,
June,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
February.
It was February. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You looked amazing. I saw some of the photos last night on the
Thank you.
internet. And in Vegas.
Yes.
Now, I've got friends who got married in Vegas. They did it a little bit differently. They went to Elvis.
Oh, I thought so.
And
We were wondering, do we do Elvis or not?
I was
But
going to
no.
ask, did you do Elvis?
No, we didn't do Elvis.
Have you seen a video of the way someone gets married before with Elvis? Have you been
I'm
to one?
assuming it's the same as we did, but just with the Elvis suit there in the mix. But
So it's quite amazing. He's got the Elvis suit on, and he looks like he was quite a young Elvis, because they got a full video of it. And when they came back, they had a wedding party at their house, and they put it on the big screen. It's quite amazing. He's got a guitar,
yeah.
and the whole ceremony carries on with him singing. And he sings Elvis songs. He'll say, their names was Mark and Thelma, and he would say, Thelma, do you promise you'll never take Mark to the Heartbreak Hotel? And Mark, do you promise you'll never step on Thelma's blue suede shoes? Like it's actually quite a thing.
So let me add on why we didn't do Elvis. I thought they're gonna put me in an Elvis suit.
Okay.
So I thought, when I'm gonna rock up there, they're gonna give me a Father Christmas suit instead of Elvis suit. So it's not gonna be the same. So we'd rather get married at the other place.
Okay. All right.
But it was amazing. It was really such a nice experience. We loved it. It's very short. He says everything that's important.
Okay.
And
Which is the way it should be.
Definitely. We also had quite a few guests there.
I saw the guest list, which is why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
Your best man. Tell me about this friendship. Because you guys are blitzing each other.
Well, let
Like
me
2
add on.
days later, 3 days later.
We had like a couple of the power slap athletes there. We had Miss Nevada at our wedding.
Oh, well, I'm going to go back to those photos.
You're gonna have to.
Can you send me some?
and then I had Johan, the owner of GST South Africa. We had him and his wife flew down to be witnesses to sign from South Africa. Obviously.
Nice.
So the rules, if you get married in Vegas, they register it here, but you fall under Vegas rules.
Correct. You're only married in Vegas. You still got to come back to South
No,
Africa?
you married here as well, but you married under Vegas rules.
Okay.
Which means if you want to get divorced, there's no reason to get divorced, but you have to be divorced there.
So you don't have to register at Home Affairs here?
You do, but they register it as, I think, a foreign marriage because you give that marriage certificate in. There's no ceremony, or they don't make you sign additional paperwork.
Okay, so in my thoughts, you were only married in Vegas.
Well, now here as well.
I was going to say, is that why we're moving?
Well,
valid point though.
So then we had Makini Manu, which was my best man, because we were in a house together with a power slap for 2 weeks. So there were like 30 guys in the house. You have to win two matches to get a power slap contract. If you lose, you go home. So me and Makini, we actually get we get along well. And I asked him to be my best man because
That is awesome.
what other internationals do I know there? Well, I know a couple being famous, but at that time I didn't think, you know what, those guys would be your best man. And I remember on the Power Slap in October, I told him, you know what, when I come here again, I'll be married before the match. And then they phoned me, it's like, hey, you're fighting in Feb? So I had to tell her this, you know, you need to plan this because I'm focusing on my fight.
Yeah.
So she had to
No.
plan all of this.
It was actually so sweet. So I then said, what about we get married in Vegas? And he's like, and then when the season came out, I saw that he's already been planning it because he said he's going to get married before the
his
next.
fight,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we had the same idea. He actually, because he's a romantic. I don't know. Not a lot of people know this. But he is. And
Brownie points for you.
when we met, I
a
think it
softie.
took him about 3 months, and he actually planned this whole thing. I wasn't aware of it. We drove down to the coast, and he was like so irritated because why do we have to stop here for you to use the restroom? And he was driving so
Let me add on. Sorry
fast.
to interrupt. Let me add on. This is during COVID time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there were still what do you call
Rules.
it? Like
Lockdown
certain
rules.
hours,
Yes.
yeah, like that you weren't allowed on the beach and whatever.
Lockdown rules.
So we get to the place where we're staying, and it's a very confusing little parking lot in a building, and he jumps out. He's gonna get the keys, and he leaves me there with the car. I'm meant to park the car. Might I also just add, all the way driving there, I wasn't allowed to touch his phone, and I noticed that because from where I come from in my past, that for me is a red flag. So we get there, and I'm left having to find the parking spot, which was impossible. Find the parking spot, go up to the place that he booked, which was on the which floor?
23rd.
23rd floor.
Wow.
Get up there, and as I open the door, there's all these candles, and it's actually writing out the words, "Will you be my Supergirl?" Super sweet. So I'm like, what is
Wow,
going
look
on
at
here?
this.
I thought this guy's being a douche. Here I walk into this.
Now I've got to add romantic to my
Yes.
bio.
And he
When I
had
announce you.
he had like food and puzzles I had to build. It was really very sweet. It was so sweet. And
Oh, that's
lanterns
amazing.
that got lit. And surprisingly, he also fit through a very small window because he didn't, something with the key. Remember that? Yeah, so he was only weighing like 100 and something kilos at the time.
So let me explain to you.
I
So
was gonna say, fit through a window.
Yeah, he had to climb through a little window to
Are you
do-
sure it wasn't a sliding door?
So the original plan was I wanted to write the wording out on the beach and light the candles with everything on the beach. And then the COVID rules were you're not allowed to be on the beach after 8 p.m. And with 3 daughters and her in the car, they want to stop at every garage. I'm like, we'll never be in time to be there before 8.
Yeah.
So now I need to reschedule this whole thing whilst he's next to me. So that's like super tough. But in any case, we've managed to do that. But what I forgot, there's only one lighter and there's like 1,500 candles.
You can't get help.
Yeah. So there's 2 guys lighting it. So eventually as they get to this, these ones die out. So the plans was on the lanterns, they need to be on the beach. And when I whistle, they can start lighting. Any case, so the guys were on the beach. The security started whistling them because they are trespassing.
And they start lighting for
they
the
started
security.
lighting
Oh,
for
no.
the security. So meanwhile, we are on the 23rd floor. I see the lanterns already in the sky. I'm like, why? They're like, no, I whistled. I'm like, no, I didn't whistle. Any case, so the security caught the guys because they were not allowed to be on the beach at that time. So obviously there were questions. Will you be my Supergirl? Yes. With obviously puzzles, food, and then she can date me. And then a no with she needs to clean up. She needs to pay me back. And this is what everything cost.
I didn't even see that.
I was going to say, you don't even
I
see
didn't know
that.
about the disasters happening. I walked into this place that is perfectly lit, and it was
That is
just
awesome,
perfect.
man.
I wasn't aware of anything going wrong.
That is so amazing.
And I wasn't aware if I said no that I had to pay for something. I
The
didn't-
amount of DMs Danie's going to get after this podcast with women going, hi.
And also, I've never really had a grown man ask me out. So it was so nice. He's very old school. And then the engagement. We fly to Thailand, and everything's fine. And as soon as we get to the hotel, we have to go sit in the restaurant. And I don't understand this because normally they take you to your room. And he says, no, he needs to go find a charger. And I must sit in the restaurant and he's going to go find a charger. And I'm like, oh, this is the first holiday, proper holiday abroad that we're taking together. And it doesn't seem like it's going to go so well because he's moody.
He's irritated.
Anyway, eventually.
It's starting like this.
Yeah, it's starting like this. Anyway, so we get to the room and I'm blindfolded. And I don't know if you've seen this recording.
No, I haven't actually.
So as this song starts playing and it is Marry Me. From,
Bruno Mars.
Robert, what's the name?
Not Bruno.
Sure.
Anyway, and I'm like, okay, this is nice, but I'm blindfolded. And he starts dancing with me and he takes the blindfold off. And the room has got balloons, but like very nicely done balloons on the wall saying, will you marry me? Yeah. So I didn't suspect that. He arranged all of that without me even being suspicious of that.
You are such a romantic.
Let me tell
Danie
you.
the romantic from Heerden, ladies and gentlemen.
At times.
Let me add the behind the scenes on this. Okay. So we land in Thailand. Both our phones are flat. Okay. So I have communicated via email. Okay. So I email and then I had to pick a fight with her. So she logs out of my email because otherwise she's going to check the email. So I had to pick a fight with her to log out of my email.
Yeah, for sure.
So that I can have a proper conversation. In any case, so we arrive
See what
in
us
Thailand.
guys need to go through.
Yeah, really ridiculous.
So we arrive in Thailand. Obviously, I had to plan everything via email. And now my phone is flat. So now I'm not sure if it's done or not because I had to plan on this. Okay. In any case, I couldn't get her alone. So she's like following me everywhere. I'm like, yes, can't you just sit there for like a few minutes and listen to do something? She's like, what, charge your phone? I'm like, yeah. But I can come with you. I'm like, no. So in any case, I had to do this with her next to me. So when we got to the room, I wanted to put on the music. I realized I forgot about the Bluetooth speaker. So I'm going to play the song and record it, and I've only got a flat phone.
No.
So that's the behind the scenes you forget.
Yes, for sure.
So and I had to log in to YouTube on the TV to get the song played. So she waits outside, and this is taking time. Eventually, we got the song, and now I need to still charge my phone via the TV's USB, so it takes forever. So I just need to get it on. So she's still standing outside. I'm not thinking, she's just going to take it off and come in. In any case, I got the phone like 2%. I got the recording right. So I'm thinking, I hope it's in the right angle because the TV is eventually playing. So I play it, get it in, dance. I'm like, okay, we need to end this before the phone dies.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, and then luckily she said yes.
Oh, that's amazing, guys. I wish you many more happy times like that.
Thank you.
And yeah, just a quick one before we end off this podcast. For anyone out there that is listening to this, that is going to be listening to this in the future, that wants to get into the slapping game. For me personally, it was hard to find things last night on Google in South Africa. Is there slapping events still happening in South Africa? What is going on with the sport in SA? How do you get involved?
Slapping events in South Africa are unlawful. So the Minister of Sport said no slapping events in South Africa.
The same Minister of Sport who supported you. Wow. Okay.
Yes, who actually flew down to come and watch me in person. Yeah.
Wow. Well, they need to sort that out.
He said, you know what, no slap fighting.
Please, Mr. McKenzie, Gayton, let's get this sorted out.
Until it's sanctioned, because obviously if it's not sanctioned and someone dies, it's culpable homicide.
It was that whole white collar boxing court case that went on, eh?
Exactly.
Same rules.
Same
okay.
rules.
All right.
So I'm not sure if most of the venue owners know this, but you're part of that situation if that would happen.
Okay.
So yeah, I know some guys still do it for a quick buck, but they don't know the rules.
It's like underground slapping, underground fighting, same thing.
Yeah, so I don't want to be part of that because I don't want to lose the power slap.
For sure.
But in any case,
It's sad because, there could be some champions from Boksburg and Springs that we could be finding right now.
Well, there is definitely work being made of getting it sanctioned.
Okay, so there is something happening in the background.
Yes, Danie and
I was going to say, I'm sure you two are
Minister
involved.
of Sport is working on it as well. So
Great
there's
news.
definitely something in the future, which they have to get it sanctioned here because Power Slap also wants to have events in South Africa.
I was going to say, maybe UFC Power Slap at the same time.
Yes.
The covered stadium in Cape Town. Hopefully that happens.
I'm not going to say too much, but 2027, let's cross fingers, 2027.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
I'm going to say something, Trickus. You better keep that belt to 2027.
Definitely. Other than that, there's a couple of guys.
And Danie, you better have the belt by 2027.
I need to work. So a couple of guys are in contact with us, and we are obviously in contact with Power Slap. So we also, how can I say, luring some guys in because where the potential is. So stay tuned.
What is next for you? Is there a fight coming up? When? How? When are we seeing Danie on the main stage again?
Currently, no fights up next. I'm still waiting for dates, venues, but once they contact me, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to show. We need to keep South Africa on the map.
As a South African, Danie, thank you for everything that you've done for this country. It is needed. The times when the Boks won, the times when Trickus won the belt for the first time, Kevin Lerena, what he's doing for combat sport, bringing it back. I do feel we are really bringing back combat sports into this country. Boxing had a big slump. And it's because of people like you. Power Slap is a new sport. It's a new sport to this country, maybe not to the Americans and stuff, but whatever works there is going to work here. I've got no doubt. Get it sanctioned. We get it going. EFC, I hope they really come back strong. I remember going to EFC shows, like the fighting game, to me, it feels like it's coming back to this country. And we're getting it back there. Thanks to people like you and Kevin and Trickus. Thank you.
Well, it's all a pleasure what I do. Again, thanks for the fans out there. Without you guys, you don't make it possible. So you guys make it easier for us. But please pop me a follow. Instagram, Danie Pitbull. Facebook, just Danie van Heerden. On my fan page, Danie Pitbull van Heerden. TikTok, Danie Pitbull. So if you guys can pop me a follow there, that would be awesome.
Your amazing wife. Thank you for everything you do for this champion.
Thank you for
I know
having
it's a lot. Us men aren't easy. Thank you for keeping him sane. Without people like you in us men's lives, we cannot do without you. Thank you so much. Thank you to both of you for joining me again. Yeah, it was such a pleasure.
Well, I need to add thanks to her because I forget all the meetings and the appearances we have because it's so booked together. So I just say yes to everything, and then I realize, we got 3 appointments at the same time, and then she handles it. So in the morning, she just wakes me up and says, you know what, you need to get ready for this, this, and this. This is the times.
Without her, it wouldn't be happening. And and we forget about the people behind the scenes. And I've actually so many more questions for you, and we've just run out of time because we can just talk for hours. And I hope to have you guys back here. Maybe even you alone, and then we don't have to have interruptions. And we can talk about women's mental health because that's also a thing, and how women should be dealing with men. So maybe that's an episode on its own before you guys leave. We can chat off scenes. But thank you. Keep being the people that you are, the humble people that you are, what you're doing for the kids out there. Like I say, I've seen it firsthand. Thank you.
Thank you.
All a pleasure. Thank you, and thank you guys.